Hey guys, it's Billy and welcome back to Sesh. We have got to talk about Addison Rae and this Item Beauty drama with Lonely Ghost because I just listened to Lonely Ghost brand owner Indy talk about the situation in its full extent, and I have so much respect for her, you guys. It's just so unfortunate that Addison Rae is the face of the brand, that she is a part of this brand. They're really not making her look good, and they're not even really allowing her to fix the situation. It's the craziest thing, but for full context, if you guys don't understand what is going on, Addison launched this new beauty brand called Item Beauty, and one of the products is a compact bronzer, and the mirror included in the bronzer says a message. It says, "I love you, say it back." Now, there is another brand owned by Indy. It's called Lonely Ghost, and their slogan is, "I love you, say it back." It's essentially like Nike is "just do it." Theirs is Lonely Ghost, and then their slogan is, "I love you, say it back." Now, they're not claiming to invent this phrase. They were just obviously smart enough to trademark it. But with how trademarking works is that you trademark for what you sell. So they sell apparel. So they can only trademark for what they are selling, and it is like this wide range of like hats, beanies, clothes, like t-shirts, different types of products. Like, it doesn't include cosmetics. It's like literally everything but cosmetics. So for some crazy reason, obviously, we have a really just terrible situation of this company, Item Beauty, being able to kind of come in and claim the phrase for their brand. And it's this big conflict of interest because it kind of causes some brand confusion. And the biggest issue is that, and I've made videos on this before, but now we're finally kind of getting some more context as to what's been going on in the situation. A lot of you guys have been asking me to keep you guys updated. And, I'm really not trying to hate on Addison. Truly, this is just judgment from the team that is running this situation. This is, I feel as though Addison, and even Indy said this, that she loves Addison. She, really thinks that she's such a sweet girl and that she would never let anything like this kind of happen, at least this mess sort of happen, without talking about it. But there's just a team behind her that won't let her solve the issue. So basically, Indy had reached out to Addison and was like, "Hey, can I send you my "I love you, say it back" line?" And Addison messaged back, and they sent her some clothes. And Indy said her little sister was so excited, and she told all her friends, like, "My sister sending stuff to Addison Rae," which is like so sweet. I mean, Addison is such a big celebrity right now to little kids, and she's got like 60 million total followers, and she's the number one, like the highest paid TikToker right now. She beat Charlie. In this situation, Indy messaged her and was like, "Can I send you the 'I love you, say it back' line?" And 5 days after they sent this message to Addison, Item Beauty trademarked "I love you, say it back" for their cosmetics line. And obviously, that's kind of a red flag. I mean, it just is a little sketchy that after 5 days of hearing about this phrase, they trademarked it. And they've come out with a statement. Item Beauty came out with a statement, and they try to say that this is a saying that one of the women that works for the company says to her son, and that's when they trademarked it. But it's like 5 days after Addison receives this message, that's when you trademark it. It just like is a little sketchy, and it sounds like you kind of stole this from a small brand and thought that they weren't gonna notice. I mean, Indy has 300,000 plus followers on Instagram. I knew about her prior to the situation. I love her. She seems so darling, and she is being so nice in the situation where she hasn't responded at all up until this podcast that I just listened to her basically detail this entire situation. And she still, and all of her friends, have the sweetest and nicest things to say about Addison still, even after going through all of this BS with Item Beauty. When Addison received her package, she was posting in their clothing. She clearly loved the brand. I mean, she even is in something that says "I love you, say it back." She's posting in other ones. Like, she liked this brand. It was very, very, very clear. Now, a lot of people thought that when they saw the compact mirror that they were working together. So there was already brand confusion. They thought that they were doing a collab or something. And I could tell, like, I mean, I even got sent this story from some of you guys had sent this to me, and all the comments on Item Beauty during their launch were literally all just about them stealing this slogan. And all of that is the reason why they had to come out and say something. And Indy was like so sweet in this podcast that I listened to, you guys. She detailed this entire situation. It is on her friend's podcast, Wake Up with Wesley. It's the Lonely Ghost story. She truly goes into detail about, she feels so bad that the launch day for Addison was ruined, because the launch day is such a big day for people. And it was ruined by all of this hate. And she felt bad. Like, she thinks that they stole this slogan from her, and she still feels bad for Addison. Like, I mean, you guys, come on. The heart of this girl, it's unmatched. I freaking love Indy. I like to think that Addison is so sweet and she would want to solve this stuff. I really think it's people in Addison's ears that are making her look bad, because obviously Addison is the face of the brand. She's getting all of the hate for this. Basically, they try to work it out behind the scenes. Lawyers kind of said, this is the trademark that you guys have, this is the trademark that they have, but let's try to work something out because there is this brand confusion. So Indy was on a Zoom call with the Item Beauty team, and Addison didn't have to be there, and they were trying to work out a deal. And they basically came to some sort of conclusion of, let's just kind of coexist. You guys can do your thing. We'll never do cosmetics. You guys will never do apparel. And, we'll kind of just do our own thing. Indy was like, let's just kind of squash the beef. Let's make it a thing where we're still supporting each other. No drama. Like, let's just hash it out. And I will post a photo with Item Beauty and tag Item Beauty, and Addison can post a photo wearing Lonely Ghost in the I Love You Say It Back and tag Lonely Ghost. To me, I was like, that's great. It seems like, the girls worked it out. There's no drama. We love each other. All is well. All is good. We're supporting each other's brands. Like, that sounds amazing. And Item Beauty was like, not down. Indy said that someone rolled their eyes at her for making this statement. And when she asked them about when they actually went to go, trademark this, they tried to say that it was like April 1st, and it wasn't actually the actual date that they trademarked it, which was 5 days after. They reached out to Addison, and, she said that they just kind of got quiet about the situation, which obviously just makes you feel like they really did steal this from Lonely Ghost, this saying. So it's just so frustrating. And they didn't want to do this deal. They were like really pushing back on doing the entire Instagram tagging thing, and they ultimately did agree to it. And Indy sent her like all of this stuff, and they finally sent an Item Beauty PR package to Indy, and they wanted Indy to post Item Beauty and tag Item Beauty, and then Addison to repost it on her Instagram story. And it's like, that's not the deal. The deal is to make it seem like we have love for each other. We're going to support each other no matter what. Like, there's no bad blood. Let's squash the drama. They were not about it. Indy even said that she personally tried to reach out to Addison and say, hey, I just don't think that you're being represented the way that you should be represented, or these people just they're not making you look good, basically, at the end of the day. Like, they're not making her look good. And she said when she did try to reach out to Addison and tell her that these people are not making her look good, Addison read her message, you guys, and left her on red. And I think she was advised not to talk to Indy, but it's just like, oh my God. Not the move at all. It's just so sad and disappointing. They're treating it as some sort of like, celebrity and this little person, and it's just kind of like, well, Addison's really busy. I don't know if she can do that right now. And it's like, are you freaking serious? Like, she can't take an Instagram picture wearing a sweater that says I love you, say it back, and like squash drama? That would help so much. But what they ultimately kind of found out, or just kind of came to terms with, was that they did not want Addison to post anything that said I love you, say it back, because they felt like maybe it was a way that they would have felt like they were admitting to something, like they had stolen it, or admission of guilt in any way. And so they didn't want her to do that. So they felt it was not really Addison's decision to not post in I love you, say it back, and tag them in this like great we squash the beef type of way. If it was up to Addison, that she would have done it, but this team is just getting in the way and making it a bigger mess than it should be, because now every time I think about the Item Beauty brand, I'm just like, ugh, I can't believe they treated Indy that way. Indy is saying this is not what we agreed to. It has to be fair. It has to be equal for both of us. We both have to be getting something in return. I promote her and she promotes me. And ultimately what ended up happening was Addison did promote them, but the way that she did it was kind of like a unboxing haul, and she was like showing David Dobrik's merch, and then she showed the Lonely Ghost stuff, and it only said, like, barely said I love you, like it didn't say the full I love you say it back when she did it. And you know, they felt that was very purposeful. And she said that when Addison Rae first posted their clothing on her TikTok, they got like 10,000 followers. Like everyone was messaging them. And when Addison posted this, only 3 people told her about it, because it was just like that, like in the middle of nothing. Like it was that unnoticeable that it wasn't anything. And the worst part of it was that the way it was done, it obviously wasn't done in a way that was supposed to be like this bold statement of I support her, she supports me, we both love each other's brand, let's squash the drama. It wasn't like that type of way. It was a way of, it made Indy look bad because she was getting messages of why are you still sending stuff to Addison after she stole your slogan? And she felt like it made her look dumb as a brand owner, and you know, the message that they were trying to get across did not come through at all, and I felt really bad. And you know, this isn't her trying to sound ungrateful, because you know, she did get the tag and whatever, but the message was just not there. She was made to look dumb by still sending stuff to Addison, and this whole thing is so frustrating. I just had to talk to you guys about it, because when I heard about it, I was like, oh my god, like, you know, no hate on Addison, it's just like, girl, this team that's working for you is not it. They are not it. They are not making you look good at all. And you guys, they even had the audacity to tell Indy when she emailed back saying like, this story was not it, like this was hidden in a bunch of other unboxings, this was not what we agreed upon. And they said that Addison had gone above and beyond to like meet her demands, and that just like isn't the case at all. So this whole thing is sad, it's disappointing, and I honestly think that this situation is kind of getting the best of Addison, because she posted on her TikTok, she said, I feel like lately I've been trying my best at everything and it's just not enough. When your head and heart are telling you 2 different things, which one do you choose? And did it end up being a good choice? She followed it up by saying, I always try not to let myself cry because I feel too vulnerable or weak, but I literally need to cry right now because I've held it in for so long. And I honestly think this just has to do with like life and possibly this business venture, this situation that's going on between, you know, her brand and Lonely Ghost. I really hope that she finds it in her heart to try and solve the situation on her own, because this team is not making her look good at all. But I definitely want to know what you guys have to think about this entire situation. And I love you guys so much. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.